I believed you. I thought you deserved a chance for revenge. I'm the one that helped you find the other guy in your bathroom that night. The guy that cracked your skull. We found him. You killed him.
Welcome to Good Writing, everyone. I'm Dr. Stavros Halvatsis. The Fabula and Suzette are two very important narrative concepts, especially when writing complex multiform and multi-strand films and television series, such as Apple TV's recent Dark Matter, and past film grades such as Inception, Donnie Darko, Memento, Jacob's Ladder, and the like. Yet few writers know what these terms precisely mean and how they can use them to make the writing of such complex stories a whole lot easier. Let's dive right in. The Syuzhet is the story as finally presented on the page or on the screen. It contains all the gaps in information, obfuscation, misdirection, and complication that helps to make the story gripping to readers and audiences. It is the story as published or the film as released. It is the account of the narrative actions and events that comprise the entire tale, often in a seemingly disorientating order. These actions and events may or may not make immediate sense to the audience or readers, and therein lies the intrigue. For this reason, the Suzette bears the artistic fingerprints of the writer, because it is the Suzette where most of the art and craft happens, through the artfulness of its editing and reordering of events. The Fabula, by contrast, is the sequence of events readers and audiences automatically reshuffle in their minds while the story unfolds, whether consciously or unconsciously, through a process of hypothesizing, in order to make sense of the narrative they are being presented with. The Fabula, then, is the product of an ongoing process of deconstruction and reassembly of the Suzette during the act of viewing or reading, using accepted norms of coherence, logic, inference that allows the story to make sense. Think of the Fabula as the all-revealing totality of the story, told in a chronological manner. The story seen in its entirety, from an aerial perspective, as it were. The Fabula follows a logical sequence of space and time, affords full disclosure, offers few surprises, and grants no unresolved puzzles. Its meaning is replete. Memento, for example, has an extremely convoluted Suzette. The hero, who suffers from short-term memory loss, he can only remember 5 minutes back at a time, has to constantly try to make sense of events through messages he has tattooed on his skin as clues, but has forgotten the intentions and motives preceding them. Christopher Nolan offers us a story that unfolds from past to the present in the color sequences and from the present to the past in the black and white ones. This approach catapults the audience into the disorientating, subjective experience of the hero. Most films, in fact, even the conventional ones, routinely hide information from us. This is in order to build up suspense or interest in the story. In Manchester by the Sea, the protagonist is unable to form relationships. He seems content to remain in an abusive, low-paying job. The reason for this is only explained through a series of flashbacks later on in the film. Were the film to have been released as a simple Fabula, with no secrets and no surprises in store, it would have been experienced as boring. The film Suzette, by contrast, keeps us guessing until later, when the devastating cause of the protagonist's behavior is revealed. Other more ontologically complex films create puzzles at more existential levels. This results in surprises of the sort we see in films such as Donnie Darko, Vanilla Sky, Jacob's Ladder, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and many, many others. Such puzzle or multiform films present us with two or more levels of a multiverse-style reality. In Donnie Darko, for example, Donnie dies in one version but lives in another, all within a single film, and without deliberately cueing us to which is which. This makes it harder for us to construct a Fabula from a stubbornly uncommunicative Suzette, and therein, in part, lies our fascination with the film. I have explored this and other such films in my PhD thesis, Multiform and Multi-Strand Narrative Structures in Hollywood Cinema. You can download a free version of my thesis through the link in the notes below. But the true benefit of Fabula construction for writers lies at the initial stage of a story's construction. In planning a complex tale, it is best to write a clear fabula before attempting to work out how best to shift, hide, and surprise readers and audiences through an artful Suzette. Diving into the Suzette from the get-go would leave writers as confused as the readers and audiences we are attempting to woo. Which is your favorite multiform or puzzle film? Let me know in the comments below. To sum it all up then, writers ought to begin the process of story construction by creating a coherent fabula first, especially when writing complex multiform or puzzle-driven stories. In other words, place the narrative events that comprise your story in logical step-by-step sequences that follow a conventional beginning, middle, and end structure, with character motivation and backstory elements laid bare. Once the fabula makes sense, you are ready to begin reordering the elements into an artful Suzette that leaves readers and audiences intrigued and engaged. Well, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, hitting the like and notification buttons, and leaving a comment to share your thoughts and to help the channel grow. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.